The time is nigh, open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the sky from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up of the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mud. Real news for the people in real time.
Yes, family, greetings and welcome to another episode of Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct, and if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. Yeah. In fact, wait. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Wazir Menin. Yes, family, one perfect balance. Let me wheel and come again, man. Let me wheel and come again. Yes, family, greetings. I know. Yeah, we have to eat. But we here though. It's gonna be one of those nights. So I gonna tell you in the early, just go and get your pen, paper, your notepad. Like I said, get your screenshots. Whatever you normally use, go get it. Because we're gonna touch on some stuff tonight that might be a little disturbing. But tell you right now, you're gonna have to stick around to the end to find out the details, because the information I'm gonna give you tonight, just my point of view. So I don't want anyone to think that, it is anybody trying to rewrite history. Someone would call it pseudo history. They say it's pseudo history. But guess what? We're gonna challenge it, because a lot of the information isn't adding up. So go tell a friend that Politically Incorrect is up and running, and we here. I'll tell you what though, I got a message today for someone in Massachusetts. I mean, I wasn't expecting. Well, I got a few messages today. People from all walks of life, all over the globe, telling me they got the link, they saw what's going on. One guy said he was home and he decided to watch all the previous episodes of Politically Incorrect. I want to give Noel a shout out. That's a lot of information in a small space of time. But give thanks for the support. Tonight is no other, but it won't be like none other, because we're going to touch on this thing about who are the owners of the land. We're going to touch it. I said to someone earlier that today we're going to have to answer a question about every man should have two women. And I heard the elders saying that every man should have two women. We're going to touch on the latter part on Wednesday. And that's going to be very controversial. I'm telling you right now. In fact, I'm going to give you the question in the early so you can ponder it and come prepared on Wednesday. But you definitely got to stick around for the question. It's going to be a question that, but every man should have at least two women. At least. The first woman being the land. Every man should own land, because once you got land, you could feed your family. It's a start. You could build, even if it was a hut, shanty, you could shelter your family. You have a start. Every man should have land, of course, and every man should have a wife. So that's the two women I'm referring to. Beyond that, that's Wednesday night program. I'm going to answer the question, because we're going to do part two of this. But you can't do it in one sitting. You got to first deal with the land, the physical land, as the first wife a man should have. And then we're going to deal with the second part, which is the woman. And that is the second part the man should have. So we're going to deal with that. So, wait, what? Okay. Yeah. Teenagers think they're smart. They answer you some questions, man. They know you're in a position where you can't really pay much attention. You say yes, you ain't even know what you're saying yes to. You gotta love the children, man. Gotta love them. They're really smart. Yeah, I see. So here's the deal. A man should have land, and a man should have a wife. At least one, as a minimum. But I'm gonna answer a question that we're gonna get into on Wednesday night, part two of tonight's program. It's a two parts. So we're gonna get into it. So go tell a friend to tell a friend. Politically Incorrect, up and running. I'm gonna share some information tonight. I'm telling you, we have a theater night coming up, most likely, if not this Sunday, it will probably be the following Sunday. And it may very well be this Sunday. Maybe we'll do 2 this month from the Fade Initiative. And it's usually on a Zoom link. So, and this same documentary is what we'll be showing in one of them. I think the first one. So I'm just going to play a clip of it tonight, but we'll get into it more and we can discuss it on a Zoom link. If you're interested in being a part of that conversation, like I said, it'll probably be a Sunday night. If not this Sunday, the following Sunday, but it's probably this Sunday. But if you're interested in that, please comment or in fact, wait a minute, the number is on the screen. You know, click on the WhatsApp, send us a WhatsApp message, say you want your free ticket. And once we see that, like the last time, those who was a part of that, we know what it means. You got to bring your own popcorn though. But if you're interested in watching a documentary and an open discussion based on the conversation, feel free to send a WhatsApp to that number, 246-838-8253, and just type tickets, and we'll know that you want to be a part of that. So having said that, let me just jump right up into this thing here. First, let me shout out the family online. I see you, Rowan. Big Pain in the building. Big Pain in the building. Greetings to you too, my brother. I see the big family, Sharon. Shalom, shalom to you. You know, Jackie, good night to you. Mom's matriarch, I got to send you special blessings from Barbados, sunshine, and sand. I know you got rain already because all England do is rain. But we send you sunshine and sand for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Mr. Benjamin, greetings to you too, man. You thought he was late, but nah, man, I be having moments. I be having moments. But we work it out. We here. We taxiing on the runway right now. Make sure you got your seat belts fastened, your trays in the upright position, or your luggage is stored in the overhead and below the seat. This is going to be one of those rides tonight. Jackie, we see you too. Greetings, family. Greetings. Always karaoke. Alex, good night to you too. Peace more. Peace, peace, peace. Listen, Alex, you're going to like tonight, though. We're going to touch on it, man. Who are the owners of the land? You know what I'm saying? Who are the owners of the land? I'm going to make it clear off the top, right off the top. Daffodil, we see you. We see you, Daffodil. Peace to you and the family. And Monica, I see you too. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Let me talk to this thing, family. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. Normally, you know, I would draw a little tune, but like Alfred said, running a little behind the clock tonight, we just going to jump right into it without further ado. So having said that, my only issue is which one do I pull up first? Because this is, you know what? Let me go here first. Let me go here first. Let me go here first. Yeah, let me do this first. Let me get this out of the way. Family. And this goes to my family and my people near and far. Let me just go ahead and share a screen. Actually, I thought I had shared the screen before previously, but I'm not realizing I didn't. Big voice. Okay, cool. All right. Let me just go ahead and do this. So this is what's up, family. I just want to share this really quick. Now, while we were, you know, as always, being distracted with all kind of stuff going on, whether it's TikTok being banned in America or the latest distraction, you know, the P. Diddy scenario or latest gossip, latest whatever it is that was distracting people, the American government did something very interesting. And I think that we should pay attention. In fact, someone was telling me about the cybercrime bill. And like I said, in fact, I think I'm going to do a special program on that by itself because as far as I'm concerned, even that is a slight distraction. Not saying that they're not threatening you because it's a threat. It's an open threat. But it can only apply if you don't know the rules of application. For example, Jamaican ackee. The Jamaican ackee is supposed to be poisonous. In fact, poisonous meaning deadly. It's supposed to be deadly. But although it's deadly, although it's poisonous, a lot of folks still cook it in their food and eat it with some salt fish and some dumpling and kalaloo. Not that I know about the ackee and saltfish, dumpling and kalaloo. I barely hear about it. I barely hear about it. But in reality, though, family, although it's poisonous, there are people who still can because they know how to deal with it. When it comes to these so-called bills they keep putting out, There's some we have control over, and there's some we don't have no control over. And if the cybercrime bill is a matter of making statements in the public domain towards another individual, whether it be true or false, I'm gonna have to do a discussion on that one of these nights. My thing is this: if law is interpretation and you're wrong, and I'm going to bring the bill and we're going to go through the points that is obvious. The law, we see what the law states. Well, if the law states that you cannot make any statements or derogatory statements or inflammatory statements or make any accusations or insulting remarks, all this kind of stuff. Well, rather than make statements, answer the question. Word it in the form of a question, because at least in that case, I'm not insinuating anything. I'm simply asking a question. Simple. Like, for example, Mr. Wilfred Abram, are you involved in the case with Mr. Rowe? You know, Neil, I think Neil was charged with rape. The question is, are you involved in that, Mr. Abram? Just a question. Now, I don't see how somebody could sue you and lock you up for answering the question. I don't see it. Now, if I say on the other side affirmative that he is involved, then that might be considered some sort of negative sort of remark or something. I understand it could be damaging. I totally understand that. So one has to be clear. And by the way, that was just an example. That was just an example. So if I answer a question, it's for the sake of getting clarity, like all questions are usually for. But a statement, it could be damaging. I understand the point. But we're going to discuss the cyber bill on another level. But right here, I need y'all to watch this and listen carefully at what this is, because this is serious business. Like, this is serious business. You see, the Foreign Intelligence Agency, Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Agency. Listen to the name, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Agency. Okay. Foreign surveillance. All right. Foreign intelligence. Listen to this carefully, family. Wait a minute. I got to put the volume up. I think the volume is down. Ah, there you go. Take a listen.
In a contentious debate over privacy concerns, the Senate has passed a surveillance bill, reauthorizing Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Lawmakers voted 60 to 34 in favor of the reauthorization following the House's approval of the measure late last week. The House passed the bill after introducing a new version with a 2-year reauthorization instead of the initially proposed 5 years. This 2-year reauthorization could potentially allow former President Donald Trump the opportunity to overhaul the law if he wins the upcoming presidential election. With the deadline looming, Congress faced pressure to act as authority for Section 702 was set to expire with the approaching deadline of the National Defense Authorization Act. Throughout the day, senators grappled with reaching a consensus on reviewing this critical intelligence community surveillance tool, raising questions about whether a lapse could be averted. As the surveillance bill moves forward, the debate over privacy and national security continues to be a focal point of discussion in Congress.
Okay. As the bill moves forward, privacy is a discussion. Privacy. Now, let me say this, family. You see, we talking about cyber bills, right? And the more you look around town, more and more cameras going up everywhere you look. And these different FRID read devices all over the place. It's an infrastructure, including the cyber crime bill / digital ID / all your information being placed on it / all your medical record being placed on it / all your personal information being placed on it / it replacing all other documents of identification. So you now have that authorization from a digital standpoint / we have the ability to push a button and end and disrupt your day, your week, your month, your year, your life. And why? Simply because we keep going along with the narrative. We keep going along with the narrative. So we accept what they give us, then we complain we don't like what they give us. How about not accepting it in the first place? Having said that, like I said, America 702, and I still corrected these the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, not Agency Act. This is the deal, family. Pay attention. Because what that basically means is that they don't need a warrant, anything to just take your information on what you call spy on you, or have your neighbors spy on you, or anybody for that matter, get your information. Even interrogate your children. Access your children's devices. You think they're watching you. You're trying to wrap your phone in foil paper, and your kids are online playing Roblox, and all the information leaking. My point is, family, we got some bigger issues to study. It's all relative, yes. But rather than exhaust energy, keep going after one thing, you know, we gotta go at the head of this snake, man. You can't keep pulling the tail, family. Can't keep pulling the tail. Having said that, let me go into tonight's program officially. No, I was online the other day doing some research. You know me. Y'all know how it is. Doing some research. And guess what? I'm going back to this particular app right here on my system. Let me just pull it up closer. This thing called Google Earth. Like I'm into Google Earth now. So you know me, I'm looking around Barbados. And by the way, big up to the people, big up to my inbox crew. Got to give it to the inbox crew for sure, for navigating these steps. So someone sent me a link. I take a look at this thing. I said, let me go and see this Google thing. So I going on Google Earth and I scrolling, I taking my time when I scrolling in. I see what's going on. I going into the parishes, I going into St. George. I run across to St. John, and I go over here to Codrington. And I telling myself, I like this. This is good stuff. Somebody said Jamaican Aki is, unless you know how to prepare it, knowledge is power. Always. That's a fact. That is a fact. I see you, Isis. I see you. Sean, I see you, man. And you ain't late, brother. We right on time. You right on time. They say, as long as you're not a threat to national security, there's no need to bother. There you go. Unless they become a threat to your national security. You know what I'm saying? We see you too, Afu. Mr. Clark, always, I see you too. Listen to this right here, family. So I hear Colonial College, we zoom in. So far, as you can see from a topography view, they have some places listed. No big deal, nothing unusual. St. Mark's Anglican Church, Sealy Hall, Windy Ridge, the Codrington School, the International, you know how it is, Codrington College. But then hold on a minute. I looked up and there's this place labeled in green. I said, wait a minute, what is this? So I looking at it and telling myself, like, wait, let me get a little closer. Because I know Codrington College, I know the duck pond, I know the road that goes to the car park. In fact, the Rastaman, we just climb the wall here. We just go down this particular path right here and go down and go down and go down. And there's a little city down here that, But then I said, wait a minute. This thing says Indigenous, wait, let me get the name for y'all. Indigenous Peoples Village. So I'm like, Indigenous Peoples Village? Wait. Indigenous Peoples Village? Why I didn't know they had an Indigenous Peoples Village in Barbados. I thought to myself, well, you must mean the Rasta, they must mean the Rasta temple, the Ibernacle. So that's what I telling myself. So, naturally, I go a little closer and I decide I'm going to click on this thing right here. I'm going to click on it. Why not? So I click on it and it comes up, Indigenous People Village, Sergeant Street, St. John, Barbados. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm not familiar with this particular thing right here. I'm not at all familiar with it. So I do a little bit more digging. Why not? I see they got a website, Barbados ARAWAK Village. I said, Barbados ARAWAK Village. Like, what is this? So you know me. I click on it. Tell myself, well, I need to click on this. So I click on it. And guess what comes up? A website. A website that shows Indigenous Peoples Village.com. Now, at first I tell myself, well, it's probably somewhere in South America or something, because I mean, we you know. But then I realized that, wait a minute, this picture right here, well, this is Carleton College, and then it says a place where time stood still. I said, well, wait a minute. I look a little closer and realize they have some, some architectural work here, sketches and stuff, like, like what it's supposed to look like in the future. Well, when they build this place, because in reality, I don't think there's any structures there at this point. It looks like they're breaking ground right here with this brother sticking a shovel in the ground. And, and I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. Indigenous people. So wait a minute. And I'm going to post this link, by the way. If you go on this same website here, you got the homepage. Like I said, this information. You have the explore, experience, learn, the sponsorship, how to connect, and the press. So I went through a few of them to take a look, explore, and I see they talk about, the Moors, they talk about nighttime astrology, nothing major, nothing like, nothing of real significance. And they talk about the artisanal workers in terms of, I guess, clay and this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, you could even book your event at this location. I'm like, okay, this thing is interesting. But what I'm looking for is a historic connection. So they ask you to donate and stuff like that, typical stuff, give you a number and stuff like that, and they give me an IG page and they give me a Facebook page. So naturally, I click on the Facebook page. Let me see what it's all about. So I go on the Facebook page next, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, this thing's serious. These folks got a whole page and everything up and running. But guess what? Indigenous Peoples Village is a few years old. It has about 9 likes and 9 followers. So I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Well, this don't sound like nothing legit. I mean, I would think that if this was up and running for a little while, it would got a bit more traction and a bit more momentum. But I do know that, Barbados is known for a number of initiatives that don't necessarily come off the ground in terms of the government. Because I remember Indar Weir talked about creating a culture village in St. John on the same land, that on part of the other land that he gave. I use the word give, but maybe that's the wrong word to use, because I don't know the arrangement that was made between himself and the brothers that were there up in St. John, where they got the 10 acres to grow food. And I'm not sure what's going on there at this point. But I remember he said he's going to take 100 acres or something like that and develop this whole culture thing, this whole big thing. This is going way back in when they first got elected. It's not even after the election. This is the first time when they said they want to build this culture. Y'all remember that? They're going to build this cultural village, and, part of it, the Rasta's going to be there, and they're going to have other stuff going on and so on and so forth. I don't know if this is what he was referring to, if this is all relative to that, but I don't think so, because this isn't near or anywhere near the area that, well, not according to this map, Google Earth, where the land was given to the Rasta community. So I'm not really sure what sort of what sort of initiative this is. Pardon me, I was here reading Isis' comment. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what kind of village this is, but ARAWAK, Indigenous, well, let me get into it, man, because that's where I want to go tonight. Family, and I beg your forgiveness in the early, because I'm going to play something here right now that I want y'all to listen to carefully. And like I said, we're going to have this documentary being aired on our theater night, if not this coming Sunday evening. It'll be the following one. If you're interested in being a part of this documentary viewing and then discussion afterwards, and the numbers on the screen, simply WhatsApp a message to the number saying, tickets, and we know to include you in the Zoom link when the time comes. We'll also send you some information prior to that to confirm so you will not be left out. So, and also make sure you like and subscribe. I realize that this is a big thing, apparently. As much as I don't take it serious, I figure, who finest. But tell a friend and tell a friend. Make sure you like and subscribe and click the bell so you get all the notifications. Otherwise, they'll pick which ones they think you should get. But yeah, it is crazy, man. Show it to the Elder in Dominica. Show it to the whole Dominican family, man. Mr. Pascal, greetings, Elder. Greetings to you and the whole family. Tonight we're going to discuss who are the owners of the land. We're going to discuss this thing. In fact, let me just play it really quick. I'm just going to give you the introduction. I'm going to get into it, but let me just play this really quick.
As I said, the important thing here is we have to start challenging the history that was fed to us, because it's not entirely true. To say that the history of Jamaica that I was taught at Casey, or the history that I learned at university in New York, is inconsistent is an understatement. Entire chunks, thousands of years of history have been omitted from what we were taught. We're not going to go that deep today. The idea today is to fill in some of the blanks and show you how it all connects to the circumstances that we find ourselves in on this island right now. Because we think that history is a dead thing, but it's not.
Let me just say this, by the way. When he said this island, he's referring to Jamaica. But keep in mind that this same narrative applies to Barbados and the rest of the Caribbean and the Antilles. So pay attention, family.
It's the history that sets up the present and the future. All right?
Can y'all hear properly? Let me know in the comments.
This first slide, I'm being kind of tongue-in-cheek about it, just to make you wonder what makes you Jamaican and what makes this island Jamaica. You ever wondered about that? Who told you were Jamaican? We know it wasn't God, and if God never tell you, then it can't be true. It must be that some men made it up. Anyway, history is a weapon, and much of the history that we were fed in school is a fiction. But it was told to us in order to make us accept that England has a legitimate claim to own the island, fair and square, and that we are merely immigrants here, so we can't really challenge their ownership, can we? And second, that history is intended to make us believe that the government we have is legitimate, and that we are responsible for the debts that our government incurs. We're going to see how that's not entirely so. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to take down some of these lies, which means that we're going to have to correct 500 years of history, from 1494 to 2014, and 520 years. 7 points we're going to cover. The first point, Christopher Columbus was not an explorer. There were no such people as ARAWAK Indians, certainly not here. There was no transatlantic slave trade. I know that one sounds kind of shocking. There was no slave trade. There's no such island as Jamaica. We were never given independence in 1962. We are not Jamaicans. Of course, if there's no island such as Jamaica, then there can't be people called Jamaicans, all right? And finally, the government is not ours.
Not ours.
Which explains a lot, doesn't it? They're not really working for us.
Nope.
All right, so first, lie. No such people as Arawak Indians. We're told that Christopher Columbus encountered a race of people he called Arawaks. But Spanish historians describe these Arawaks as docile, medium-build, copper-colored people, like the ones you see on the coat of arms, with straight black hair. And they said that they lived here for up to 10,000 years ago. Problem is, no evidence of these people has ever been found. Understand that there is no Jamaican archaeology. There's nobody out there digging up any part of this island to try to find any evidence of anything. So they found no burial grounds, no tombs, no temples, not even a bone fragment or hair follicle so we can test some DNA. None of this, even though they say that these people lived here for 10,000 years. How do you live anywhere for 10,000 years and not leave an archaeological record of yourself? That's because those Arawak Indians never existed here. In fact, the only people that we can prove existed here in this region are the so-called Caribs. And guess what? The Caribs are not medium-build, copper-colored people, they are black. If anyone's ever been to Trinidad, or St. Vincent, or St. Lucia, or St. Kitts, where these Caribs supposedly were, you'll see that the people that call themselves Caribs are black. They do have some of them curly hair, straight hair, but we know that that exists inside the black gene pool anyway. All right? There were no Arawak Indians in this entire region.
Okay, there were no Arawak Indians in this entire region. In fact, one of the things one of the groups they attached to the Arawaks is what we call the Taino. The Taino. And you find the Taino in Puerto Rico, those kind of places. And you'll find if you go into the interior up in the hills where they still exist, and you see the Tainos, they don't look like what they show us. They dark skin, they black. And so a lot of what we were told isn't adding up. I mean, think about it for a second, family. The people that treat you wrong, the people that fed you wrong, the people that gave you a false religion for the sole purpose of controlling you, the people that gave you a fault, that denied you education initially for the sole purpose of also controlling you. And when they did give you an education, the education was designed to control you even further. And so, understand, they never did anything to liberate the people. Why do we think that the narrative they gave us would be 100% accurate? I'm simply saying we need to answer some questions, because we have an indigenous village going up right here in Barbados, another set of money. I don't even know where this thing came from, and I don't know who's behind it, but I suspect it's government. I am certain has some involvement. And if you really look and think about it, well, this thing looked like a whole fraud, because it looks like they're selling an idea through a bunch of dummy pages and shell websites to sell an idea to some investors, because they're asking folks to invest. And there are people who cherish this idea of preserving the historic aspect, the Arawaks, when in reality, there was never no Arawaks. In fact, the word Arawaks is a term that they used, that they gave us, the colonial people. The Caribs, however, and we talk the Black Caribs, and I've been to St. Vincent several times, and I'm telling you, where that book is. Let me get that. That ain't too far, man. I know it's not too far. I put this up here many times. If you don't have your car, I need to start selling books, man. I need it. Now that I'm thinking about it, we need to open a library. Fade, we need to think about this, a bookstore, because at some point, some of these books will be hard to get. Listen, if you don't have a copy as yet, make sure you get a copy of this, The Black Carib Wars. It's a must read. These guys here, these guys over here understand what I'm saying. These are the Caribs and what we call the Black Caribs. But in reality, the Carib, this is what we told. They were savages and this kind of stuff. Let me give you another piece how the narrative doesn't make sense. They tell us that when they first came and colonized these islands and they captured the indigenous people and forced them to work, they called them Indians. Although the word Indian is also a new word. The word Indian is not even that old. In fact, the word Indian was used to describe Africans so that Africans would know who they really were. Look up the word Indian and see where it really started from. What's the origin of it and what the word Indian truly means based on etymology. It ain't got nothing to do with them straight hair, brown skin looking people that we see now. Them Kazakhstans from India, them is Kazakhstans. You see, we know what's going on, but they've been playing this role as Indians for so long. They actually believe that. They've been teaching their children a lie. They actually really starting to believe that, and they're not Indians. But that's another conversation. The thing we're going to look at tonight, though, family, is the fact that right here in Barbados, again, the same so-called government, that all they do is taxing the people, then taking the money from the people to put into other initiatives. And I'm sure this place, as we start to research it, is a little bit more going on. Now, I never even realized it at first, but I mean, give thanks again to the inbox crew, but ARAWAK village in Barbados. Well, wait a minute. I mean, you know what? Let me see the comments. Let me go to the comments, man. Let me go to the comments, because I know I go. Listen, this is crazy, man. Who are the owners of the land? The original people that were here. We could debate which particular tribe, or we're using the word tribe loosely, and fought with whoever and took over land and this kind of stuff. We could do that. What we will not do is deny the fact that these Europeans came here, enlisted some folks, and committed the crime of the millennium, where the genocide of the original people that were here. The genocide that continued for centuries. And even after the fact, they still maintaining the order. Draxall. Here's a question. Don't the government, the rule of law, Ms. Motley, don't the government have the authorization to take the land if they find they have a need for it? And you know, you know, they come and I know some folks who lost property like that. They lost their property. Greetings to you too, Maria. I see you. I see you. That's right, Jackie. All of Earth recovered originals. Real thing, real thing. Somebody went somewhere and saw a village and came back to Barbados and now want to create a like village. Look, man, crazy, 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 crazy. Yes, the history was indeed erased. The brother isn't lying. Like I said, we're going to have the full documentary being aired this Sunday, if not this Sunday, the following Sunday on theater night. We call it theater night. Ain't not movie night. We ain't watching movies. We do have movies occasionally, but the movies we watch are really for food for thought. So it's class and session, video lessons. But if you're interested in watching the rest of this, and it's a very intriguing film. I mean, I've watched it several times. I had it for years. Like you said, since 2014 when it first came out. And man, I've been sitting on this and just reviewing it and sharing it. We're going to air it on Politically Incorrect through the Fade movement, through theater night. If you're interested, the numbers on the screen, just WhatsApp tickets, and we'll send you the Zoom link. But we're going to watch the rest of it for certain. I'm hearing clearly, yes, the audio was good. Yep, like divine right to rule. I agree. Yeah, I agree. And we're going to touch on that in a minute. And yes, ISIS, the Kalanago people, you see, the Hyroon people, what they call the Yaramin, you know what I'm saying? The land of Yaramin. What's the word? The Garifuna people. You know, we could touch on it on many different ways. The Maroons, those that fought, you know, the term Maroon. Yeah, we're going to get to it, though. We're going to get to it. Of course, the Taino people, serious. Yes, or Carib here is curly daffodil. I like how you put that in first person, you know. Or Carib here, or is it in? We ain't speaking of somebody else. We know who we talking about. we know who we are, man. Even if we didn't know before, and you had our parents not remembering. But the father said, I would take it from you for a time. But it's only a matter of time. You think if you raise an eagle amongst chickens, the first time it catch flight on its wings, you feel you can still throw at it, you can still feed it, what do you call it? Chicken scraps. Nah, man. It gonna soar. That's what eagles do. It's only a matter of when, not a matter if. So we're gonna get into that for sure. For sure. But we know who we are, man. Bringing the truth to light. Only evidence of the Kalnago and Taino can be found. Let me tell you something, right? You think about Barbados right now, and I remember one time I seen some folks from England. I don't remember where they're from. Maybe Canada or America. No, I'm not sure. This was downtown on Subtle Street. In fact, at the T-junction between Subtle Street and the road that is parallel, well, between St. Mary's Church and the car park, that road and the T-junction. There's an open spot right there. There's a lot right there, just like a little car park next to the building. I think they painted the wall green recently or something. Let me tell you something. I remember coming down there, driving and watching. They had a whole bunch of tents and barricades and stuff, and a bunch of white people. You know how you watch Egyptian movies and they see they got the excavating and dusting with the paintbrush and picking up fragments and stuff. I'm like, they had a whole archaeological dig right there in town, right there downtown. I tell myself, well, wait a minute, but what are they looking for? And they obviously found some stuff. And I don't know if they took them from Barbados or they did it for Barbados or they took them back to whichever university they were from. I'm sure somebody here knows what's going on, but they had an archaeological dig right there downtown. And what I'm saying to say is that imagine people could come here and dig up and take what they want and go, and we ain't got a clue who live here, what's going on, because there's no real studies. We go to the museum and they got a bunch of stuff, toys and stuff, and they tell us this is the birds and the animals that were here originally, but then they show us some little village of some people, and it's like, okay, that was it. These cats survived here for thousands of years in a tent. They ain't built nothing. They ain't carved nothing. They ain't the statues. They ain't the symbols. They ain't nothing. Limestone's so soft. Come on, man. Come on, man. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Nevertheless, though, it's like that box that Miss Morty took to Ghana, with dirt in it. And last I checked, when I buy a bag of dirt with supermarket, it come in a bag. It wasn't a box. The box was almost the size of a baby coffin, quite frankly. Stranger things have happened in BIM family. You never know. You never know. You never know. But I want to play something else really quick too that's really important, because while we say A, we got to say B. And let me get to it really quick, because I think it is very, very important. Let me go ahead and share this tab instead. And let me tell you why I'm playing. I played that particular clip about no ARAWAKs and no Caribs. Well, sorry, no ARAWAKs at all in the Caribbean at that time. Let me play this clip right here. This is crazy. Alex Mitchell, if you're on tonight, let me know, man, because I'm playing this really with you in mind. I'm playing this with Jackie in mind and moms in mind. I'm playing this with June Goddard in mind. I'm playing this clip for all those who was wronged and lost their property, lost their inheritance based on a crime committed to them, rather through the acts of an agent for the system, a member of the bar, or via the government simply pretending that they don't know that Miss Beckles owned those plantations. I'm playing this for all those who have been wronged, man. Pay attention to this clip, family. Listen carefully.
Day today, as Los Angeles becomes the first county in the nation to make reparations to a black family whose land was taken.
Wait. Let me pull it from the top. And I see that the speed is, yeah. So I don't want y'all to miss this. Okay. And also let me know how the audio is. Give me some sound checks.
An historic day today as Los Angeles becomes the first county in the nation to make reparations to a black family whose land was taken from them.
Bruce's Beach is in Manhattan Beach, and it was formally returned to the Bruce family today. Here's NBC4's Angie Crouch.
Here at Bruce's Beach, there was no formal ceremony celebrating today, but you can see over the weeks people have come by and left flowers here at the Bruce's Beach sign in commemoration of today's historic event. The LA County Board of Supervisors making history today, signing the paperwork to return Bruce's Beach back to the descendants of its original owners, Charles and Willa Bruce. The Bruce's great-great-grandson, Anthony Bruce, told us over Zoom today he and his wife are celebrating from their home in Tampa, Florida.
Wow, this is one of the most unprecedented things that I've ever experienced in my life.
LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, who spearheaded the effort with Board Chair Holly Mitchell, became emotional announcing the decision.
We can't change the past, and we will never be able to make up for the injustice that was done to Willa and Charles Bruce a century ago. But this is a start.
The land at Highland Avenue and 26th Street in Manhattan Beach was originally owned by Charles and Willa Bruce. They ran an upscale resort for African Americans at a time when segregation severely limited their access to the public beach. In 1924, the city of Manhattan Beach used eminent domain to seize the land, claiming it would be used as a park, but it sat vacant for decades. Anthony Bruce, who works as a security officer, says the racist decisions of the past left generations of his family living in poverty.
I still haven't really reached that out of the social bracket that I'm in. And so that was systematically done to my family so many generations ago, but it's still affecting me today. And so that's what this is going to do. It's going to put me back in the place that my ancestors were rightfully at before.
LA County's agreement means after a 30-day closing period, Anthony Bruce and 3 other legal heirs will inherit the land and lease it back to the county for $413,000 a year to allow the county to continue operating its lifeguard training station at the site. The Bruces had the option to later sell the property to LA County for $20 million.
We're setting precedent. It's very exciting, and I'm so proud to be a part of a county that actually is looking to right a wrong that was committed 100 years ago.
The state of California has set up a reparation task force to look into making other possible reparations to African Americans and indigenous tribes who also had land improperly taken. In Manhattan Beach, Angie Crouch, NBC.
Looking to restore land to indigenous people and Africans who was wrongfully taken, stolen. Reparations right at home. Miss Motley up there in England asking for reparations. Man, right here in Barbados, there are people who have been wronged, wronged significantly by the system that they took over and now made a republic, claiming full responsibility for all that has happened prior to it. Don't go England asking for the reparation. Lead by example. Lead by example. Violet Becker's land need to be restored, and y'all need to start paying Alex Mitchell some rental fees or the option to buy. Well, sorry, the option to sell. Seriously, family. Y'all need to go back to the kings of that state and restore it to the family of the Goddards accordingly, and ask the question and pay rental all on Kensington, the airport. Come on, man. Listen, the reason why I'm saying this is that we living in the times where you see the lady started crying. I'm not sure why she's, in fact, for her, this was very emotional. I'm not sure exactly why. She said she's happy to be a part of this historic event. You know what? Maybe she is her ancestors coming forward and she wants to right the wrongs that was done. Maybe she has a document in her house that show her what her ancestors did to people. And maybe she has grown a moral compass and realized, you know what? I got to right this wrong. I got to right this wrong. This wrong cannot continue for generations. We can't continue going on the same way over and over again because we're living in a day of reckoning. Times have changed. We can't take the land and no, just give it to the Chinese. Just so? I mean, just so? No, we can't. We can't. Meanwhile, they plan on compulsory take. All right, taking my Calnago Grand Land. All no. Guess what? Guess what? No, sister, that ain't happening. Now, Grand ain't losing the land. Listen, in fact, inbox the documents. Let me have the conversation because nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Tiana, I see you too. Good night to you. Real talk, real talk. We're being set up on the levels you wouldn't even find in the bottomless pit. That is deep. It's a fact. Good night to the family, man. A public need, not a private need. Listen, this is crazy. This is crazy. And I'm going to tell you, you got to tune in for the full documentary because he shares so much light on so many things that put so many things in perspective. It just makes sense. We know what we need to do. We got to stop complying with all these rules and regulations they're trying to enforce. Every time they put a bill out, you lose something. Every time they put a bill out, you lose something. Believe that. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. The Caribs in Honduras are the Garifuna today, and they're from the islands. Yes, they're. In fact, you are so correct. The Caribs in Honduras, they were deported there from St. Vincent. Well, what was known as Yarramin, now it's known as St. Vincent, named after the Pope from France, somewhere, Pope Vincent. Wicked man. Nevertheless, after the treaty was signed, when they fought, the last battle in the Caribbean that was fought on the soil in St. Vincent with these colonizers at that time. At that time. And they gave them so much trouble. Bear in mind that those Caribs were a mixture of people from Barbados, people from St. Lucia, Dominica, Antigua, Guyana, Grenada, that all came to that one last place where the last battleground. And we fought. And we gave them so much trouble. They said, okay, look, we're going to give you all the treaty. Put on your weapons, and we sign an agreement. We're going to agree to it. And then, and I keep telling people, it makes perfect sense that the individuals that were here, the reason why they bought folks from Europe to interpret, because we were all one. We spoke the same language. Wasn't no wild, boring, wearing skirt, feathers, and bones in your nose, unga bunga, boiling people in pots, big cast iron pots like cannibals. Madness. That's not the truth. That is not the truth. You say going to burgundy, you say going to maroon headdress tonight, right? Y'all pick sense from nonsense, man. Don't be and the royal blue, right? Yeah, man. Who know, no, family. We ain't playing them games. We know who we are. We know the story, and we want what is ours. If government taking land, everybody has to benefit. But guess what? The people of the government. So if we taking land, of course, everybody's going to benefit. For sure, for sure, for sure. Hold on, Alex. I got more for you, man. Despot stole over 200 plantations. Listen, you know what, Alex? Should I put that? I might put it up tonight. In fact, I'm going to put it up tonight. I'm going to put it up tonight. Give me a second. She would not get paid twice. She wants 4.9 trillion on top of that. Don't treat the people the way you want to be treated. Don't worry, Alex, I got you covered. Give me a second. The Garifuna, of course, the Garifuna people, man. And the thing is, you look at the Garifuna people, they look like you and I. You know, we won. That's right, Alex. I know I'm Carib for sure. Divine greetings to you too, family. Beverly, good night to you. Good night. Good night. Listen, Alex just brought up a very valid point. I want y'all to do this. Type in $5 Indians in America. Go research $5 Indians. And you must understand that this is exactly the same thing that happened throughout the Caribbean, especially on Arrival Day. And when I say Arrival Day, wait, I think that was in May, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, you know, history and the dates. But Arrival Day is when they bought a lot of mixed genetically, let me use the right word. Eugenics. Through breeding, they brought a whole bunch of individuals across the Atlantic, well, across the Indian Sea, Ocean, whichever way they call it, and the Atlantic, and brought them here to the Caribbean, namely Trinidad and Guyana and Suriname, that kind of region. Yes, they were Kazakhstans. We now know them as Indians, but they weren't known as Indians before that. They never called themselves Indian before that. Just keep that in mind, family. Keep that in mind. Trust nothing they show you. It won't. Trust nothing they show. It's what they don't show. For sure. For sure. We can't even put up a little scripture in the back without calling town and country. We can't put a little structure in the back without calling town and country. Oh man, it's crazy. You're right. You're right. Can't roast a breadfruit without the people calling the fire truck. Shaking my head, man. Digging. Listen. Got me beat. Listen. In reality, right? It gonna get to the point if we don't stop the madness, stop acquiescing to the madness, that we gonna be locked. So remember COVID? COVID's a test run, you know, because they only want certain folks out and everybody else got to go. So you gotta decide where you stand, man. Lines have been drawn. I am here right now. I got you, Alex. I'm gonna do something for you in a minute, Alex. I kid you not. Invaders never left. Went in the shadows. That's a fact. They went in the shadows. They gave us independence. They put some house Negroes to run the place. Basically, it's what they did. Trust it, but let me phrase it, because folks going to take offense if I say house Negroes, and I don't want to offend anyone. They took some individual. They took the trustees. How that sound? The trustees, and they let the trustees run the trust, because it really is all the trust, corporate law. Audio good. Okay, that was earlier. Damn, can't keep up with it. I can't keep up. Greetings to you too, brother. We see you. Yes, Alex, I see you. I got you now. I got you. Let me pull this up, man. There's a document I want to pull up. Now, I am sure I sent this where I sent this. So I'm going to look where I sent it to see if I sent it when I sent it, if it's where I sent it. So I can pull this up. Now, this right here, I might need security. Black Lion. Black Lion. Is this the document right here? This looks like it, Alex. This looks like it. Let me click on it and see. Is this the one? Let me see. Attorney General Honorable Frondell Stewart. Okay. Looking like it. Looking like one of them. Well, I ain't seen it. Yes, this is it though. This is the document. Violet Beckles, King Street, Bridgetown, St. Michael. Yeah. No, I gonna get the rest of the documents put together properly so we could put them up so that people could see. I don't want to put up half and half. And I only see one, although I have the other two. It's probably on my phone, where we have a signature at the back of it. Interesting documents, man. Let me play this other clip real quick in the meantime when I do this search. Let me go and play this. Like I said, they gave the land back as a form of reparation for the wrongs that was done. They took the land that the family had built as a resort to bring in money to place for black folks to come and celebrate and enjoy themselves, because, you know, the Jim Crow laws was that no black folks allowed certain places. So we built our own thing and the government took it. Oh, we want to build something, and never did nothing with it. Does that sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? Like he said, it pushed my family for generations into a state of poverty. For generations. And we see right now families in poverty, and we think they're impoverished because all of a sudden, you know, the cost of living. Speaking of cost of living, let me do it, man. Because like I said, it's gonna fall into order tonight. It's gonna fall into order tonight. Let me go here, man. You think it's because that families all of a sudden can't afford, let me go here first, can't afford food in supermarket. People keep talking about how the price of food dropping and it has been stable since a certain point in time. First of all, I don't know why people don't seem to get this. Like, whether or not the prices have been fixed in a position, the position they were in prior to that was already a problem. So when the prices escalated significantly, and it has done so in reality, and it may be fixed now, it has been fixed now for a period of time, and it's going to take a while before it comes back down. Please, when you say come back down, you mean come back down to how it was, let's say, 2 decades ago? When you say come back down, at which point you plan on stopping when you say come back down? In fact, let me let Miss Motley tell you herself what she means, okay? Pay attention, family.
The World Economic Outlook reported that globally, inflation is down. But on the ground in Barbados, the feeling is that cost of living is still too high. Why is that?
Go on the ground here in Washington, D.C. too, and the people who President Biden and Mr. Trump talking to feel the same way. Largely because people will take time to see the benefits, even if they're happening emotively. The stress of having to confront higher prices will continue to haunt you. Knowledge doesn't always immediately replace emotion, and you only got to know in a relationship between two people that even though I'm telling you the facts, sometimes I still feeling the hurt from before. And people who felt the hurt of the cost of living may still be feeling it, even though we know across the world is coming down.
She says more than 3/4 of the key commodities in the critical basket are still available for the same price as they were during the social compact, which existed in 2022. This is supported by the Ministry of Commerce monthly price analysis. Prime Minister Motley was speaking at the IMF spring meetings here in Washington, D.C., where she met with multinational development agencies, as she continues to highlight the need for climate financing.
During the course of this week, we have been fighting the battle to be able to get more fiscal space, more borrowing room, more capacity to be able to run the kinds of expenditures. Right now, we don't want to run the higher levels of primary surpluses because we have a date with destiny in the next decade to be able to make Barbados as resilient as possible, Barbadians as resilient as possible.
The Prime Minister adds that now more than ever, this is important given the increasing temperatures, severe floods, and other climate-related issues. Reporting from Washington, D.C., Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
Crystal Hoyt, CBC News. Let me go back
But the areas to address the 14 deficits. But the policy then.
Let me pause it for this guy here for a minute. We're not having this conversation. Family, seriously.
The World Economic.
Seriously. Let me pull this back up. Hold on a second. Let me pull this back up. Cost of living. I see people down the road there that Biden and Trump. Seriously. We know the facts, man. They're telling stories, man. We know the facts. We know the facts. We know the facts. We know the facts. Where's the spook who sat by the door? Yeah, we still looking, man. It was supposed to be Ralph Torn, but based on what he did recently, I don't know. I mean, it's obvious based on what he did recently. But we can get that in a minute too. We were never independent. So true, so true. Oh, really? Having a party, a booster party today. Okay, interesting. I wanna do something here really quick though, family. So I gonna do it, man. I gotta do it. I cannot not do it. I gotta do this. I got to do this. So let me do this, man. Because if I don't do this, it wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right. Because in all fairness to those who support. Okay, yeah, I found it. I found it. I found it. Let me just share it really quick. Send it right here. Send it right there. And there you go. Okay. History in the making. History in the making. Yes, well, this is where we find ourselves in 2024, family. The land. Who really owns the land? The government come and tell you one thing and do what they feel like over and over again and got you paying, what do you call it? Land tax. Land tax. Yeah, you ain't easy though, Alex, man. You ain't easy at all. You didn't even give me a break to look for it, man. But I give thanks for you. Yeah, how you know looking for those documents, Alex? Those particular documents. How you know? I cannot not do this, Alex. And please forgive me for putting you out there like this right now. But I'm gonna put you out there right now. I'm gonna put you out there right now, man. That's one. I gotta do it one at a time. One at a time. Family, y'all gonna see these documents right here, especially whose signature is on it. We're gonna put these up. We're gonna put these documents up. I mean, what you could do is tell the IMF, right, that the folks in Barbados, nah, we ain't going for it. Tell them we ain't going for it and see what they tell you. Tell them that the folks say they've been going for it and see what they tell you. Because when you talk about more funding, everything you talk funding, all we're hearing is, well, to pay this back, you're going to need resources. And if we don't have the resources in a natural form, well, where are we going to get it from? The people. That's why you keep saying, have more babies, have more babies. It just makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Listen, somebody once said to me that, if you say the same thing often enough, people start to believe it. But guess what? I think people starting to believe the fact that Miss Motley has the interests of Barbados and Barbadians at hand. Because when last I looked, is this the one? No, let me get it. When last I looked, they're having more babies just to make sure the debts are paid. Because if we keep getting money from the IMF over and over and over and over, over and over and over and over, well, I don't know. When will it be over? Is the question. Is this the first page? It's the second page, then the third page. This is the third page? No, I think I got in the wrong order. Let me put it this way. This is the first one. This is the second one. And this is the cover page. Okay, got it. All right, Alex, I'm gonna put this up, man. And let me tell you something, family. This is the reality of what we're dealing with. We just saw a clip where, the family of this young man had their property taken by the government a while back. And in reality, you would think that, well, it was overrun by time, which is something I was told when I was doing some investigation regarding Mr. Alex Mitchell's situation. I was asking some individuals I know who, for the most part, would have an idea on how best to speak to that matter. Let me make sure I take that back so I don't slip this one. I'm doing the pictures again, so I gotta make sure I don't push the wrong direction and end up putting pictures online that I do not want online. Yo, that would be crazy, family. That might be crazy. People say, man, you always laughing. I might crack a smile, family, but it ain't nothing funny. Ain't nothing funny. Keep that in mind. This thing is a serious matter. Okay. Entering Exhibit A. Let me see how we're going to do this. We're going to do it like this. We're going to do it like this. This is a interesting document. Let me put it up on the screen here. Now, family, understand, I am past the bar. I know a little bit. And this is a document that, let me see if we get the date on it. If we can get the date on it. We get the date on it. It says, this ascent is made the 15th, it looks like, day of January 1990 by Violet Beckers of King Street in the city of Bridgetown, an island of, as aforesaid, hereinafter called, well, administrix, TRX. Whereas Beatrice, what's her name? Eveline Henry, look like Eveline. Eveline, that's a C or G? I think it's a C. Eveline Henry, anyhow, of Lake Folly in the parish of St. Michael, hereinafter called the deceased, died on the 13th day of December 1985 in this island, and as Afro said, the said deceased made a will dated the 17th date of January 1984. In the said will of the deceased, the residual of the estate was bequeathed to the administratrix. Well, it goes on to speak about who the individual is and who she was and whatnot. So this was official, and it was done by, on the top, it was drawn and looks like prepared by, and there's a signature. And there's a signature. And there's a signature. You know, there's a signature. There's a signature. Reese Chambers, Coleridge Street, Bridgetown, Barbados. Interestingly enough. Nowadays, you know, you got to check everything, right? And it goes on to speak, signed by Miss Beckles herself. And it was witnessed as well. You know, it comes on and it comes on and it comes on. Commissioner of Probates, and it comes on and comes on. And then on this other page here, there's also a signature. Now, this is 1990. I don't know if she could recall so far back. Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. But there's a document. There's a document, family. Y'all notice how quiet everything got? Or just me? It seems eerily quiet all of a sudden. It could be me. But if you having that similar experience, type and let me know. We got a situation here that needs addressing. I like that. Somebody go find a spook. Seriously. Somebody said she liked the brooch and it looks like the WEF jewelry. Listen, family, on a serious note, right? Why am I always confused after MAM explains? Well, I would like MAM to explain this, quite frankly. Quite frankly, I would like her to explain this. Anyhow, at this point, though, family, I think that we have sufficient to ask questions. I think is more than right to begin to answer questions. Gotta hand it to the prime servant, Barbados. Talking a lot, but not saying much. Insulting is an understatement. In basket with food people don't eat, every dog rejects dry bones. Even dogs reject dry bones. Somebody let know some things. I says that you know some things though. She Dulu, delusional. The land need to be restored, Miss Motley. Do the right thing, man. Do the right thing. Give back the man his inheritance and start to pay. Well, they're gonna pay this man $400,000 US a year to use the beach. They want to buy it for 20 million. I don't know if that is sufficient. I mean, after all, they were using it for a long period of time. I mean, I don't know, so I don't get into the details of that reparation, but I suppose it's like she said, it's a start. May not be the best start, but it's a start. Maybe he can renegotiate something. I don't know. I don't know. Him and the other descendants, but anyhow. Sean saying me a Motley law firm. That's the second time I've seen Mia's signature on Alex family's documents. Okay. Family people know when she said we're not in the habit of taking land from people, you know, she told about Drax Hall. That, my friend, Aunt Marie, you could even Aunt Jerry Springer. That, my friend, is a lie. For sure, that's a lie. Time is well and truly up. Is a fact, is a fact, is a fact. Over $100 million each year came into Barbados by Western Union to pay bills and help family. Well, that's a lot of paper, man. Okay, got you. Got you. Got you. Family is high time though that we start having these conversations. And by conversations, what do I mean? I mean it's time to stop complying. What are we going to do? Where are we going next? I mean, let them do their thing. It don't apply to us. It really doesn't apply to us. When you make it apply to you, then you submitted to it. Stop submitting to the rule of law, because the rule of law doesn't apply to entities that are living. It applies to the entities that are dead. Okay. Remember I told you that, because they say if you don't do it, they're going to carry you to court, right? They're going to carry you to court. And when you go to court, what happening? What happening when you go to court? They're having proceedings dealing with the dead, because you ain't got no standing in the court. That's why you need an attorney to represent you. According to my friend from Black Lion in the black robes, because they're mourning the dead. All rise. You know, I like it, man. I like it. We're going to get into that eventually, though. We ain't going to go too far in that, because that's going to have people's heads spinning. Like, we talking about all rise in the court and the robes, mourning the dead. Straw man. Family, we're going to have to, it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation, but we're going to have to have it. Who are the owners of the land? United States just gave back a family land that they took wrongfully. They took it wrongfully, and they're acknowledging, okay, we weren't there, Mr. Drax Hall, but we recognize that it was wrongfully done. And rather than do the noble and the thing of principle in 2024, folks want to be arrogant, want to talk about sales, want to talk about rule of law. Listen, hold up. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, man. I've been saying it for the last 2 years, 3 years easily. Easily. Claim Drax Hall. Go take Drax Hall. Make Mr. Drax come to Barbados. The government in Barbados can't tell you dilly squat. They ain't paying Alex Mitchell no mind. They ain't even trying to investigate to see, well, look, let me see if he owned 20 plantations. Let me give you back at least 5. Tell you, look, you can't get all, we doing things that way. Take this away. Nothing, you mean nothing? No conversation. When all of y'all know what's going on. It's funny because I ask most people in parliament, well, I shouldn't say parliament, people I know in the government, and they know, everybody know the story. So why is nothing happened? Like, so everybody know it, nothing happened. Like they said, overrun by time, meaning it's time passed, man. Nobody ain't paying that no money. But guess what? Time longer than twine here. Kings in that state, same thing. Miss Stewart, with the brother, what's his name? Mr. Payne. We saw the documents, Mr. Payne. Because they made plans already. That's right. The land belongs to the people. It belongs to the original people. It belongs to all indigenous people. And without question, right? See, they're trying to classify people who are not indigenous as indigenous so they can be the beneficiaries of what is to come. You see, we know the scam, we know the plan. So they want us to be tied to Africa. First of all, Africa is the motherland. What we call Africa now, we ain't getting the semantics. It's the motherland. We know where we all came from. What we are saying, however, is that we all didn't come on the same ship. So we ain't debating the transatlantic slave trade. Maybe it wasn't what we thought it was because they took folks from right here and shuffled them around the Caribbean. That's all they did. Yes, they may have brought some over at some point because it was a trade route. If you come across the Atlantic during the northeast trade winds, if at a certain time of the year you set your sail, despite how rough and choppy and violent the Atlantic Ocean is, at certain points, you put your sail up, it'll bring you right across. We already knew that. So yes, folks came, but not in the droves that they try to sell us. They try to sell the idea so you don't claim the land. You don't want to claim the land. Every other people that come here, they give land to. They give land to the Indians, the Kyrgyzstans, who they call Indians. They give land to the Syrians, the Palestinians. They give land to the Chinese. Everybody got land. How is that? Tell me, how is that? And what we got? What we got? He said, we will better understand once we know which current BLP cabinet member was power of attorney, aka POA, for Port St. Charles Marina Holdings Inc. Interesting. In February 1999. Keep in mind, BLP won 26-2 in the January 1999. Corruption is on another level. Family, it right there in front of your face for those who will remember. But those who not remembering, they count on the mistaken facts that we have short memories. Why not so? But the time for that is long over. There are maps older than slavery and older than the USA. For sure, for sure. Yeah, they will get it back as his wife is Caucasian. I saw that, ISIS, but I ain't even touching it. I ain't touching it. I ain't touching it. Maybe she's Native American, you know. Maybe she's Native. Maybe she's Native American, you know. Maybe she is. Maybe she is. Here, my locks getting long. Like I was sitting on my locks, man. Getting long. As me, locks get longer. He didn't hard up a twist. The spreading the propaganda, cause you can't stop this. Yet speaking of here, right? Yet all over the world, the only artifacts dug up and people look like us, including here. Imagine that. Imagine that. Anyhow, black people were everywhere. So how come we ain't got any land and every race has land that deep? Ours is only in Africa. Not the Caribbean. The Caribbean belong to the Indians. What they say. Look here, family. The gig's up. The gig is up. We got to stop giving up our power. We got to stop giving up our power, man. Barbadians are trained from first form to be a part of the tourism prison. Listen, they said that the hotels are the plantations by the sea. I got that from one of those spoken word artists. I heard him, the brother came on. Well, I played the clip. And I run in with it because I've been saying that. So I'm glad to see the other people on that same track. Like, yeah, though. We're not taught the truth. Truth would only free the people. If we know our rights to the land, we will not participate in all those other extracurricular and particulars that have the people doing in these hotels. It's unfortunate because even in the hotels, I think it's only about maybe 4 Black-owned hotels in Barbados. I mean 4, maybe 5, if that much, if that many. And I wonder how many hotels are registered in Barbados. Must be hundreds, man. Must be hundreds. Anyhow, family, this is what you're going to say. You know what I'm saying? And I see you too. I see you too. Wait a minute. I see you too. Africans came over the Caribbean islands and to the Americas long before the Europeans got their act together and built their discovery ships. First of all, no, not even first of all. Yeah, since the Europeans, their discovery ships. Christopher Columbus, he might have had curly hair though, just for the record, and his name wasn't Christopher. Although they tell us that this lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies, family. That's why all these different bills, acts, laws, and rules, there's always something to keep you going. Focus on the task at hand. Get rid of the corporation. You ain't got to worry about all the bills and acts. It won't even apply. Deal with jurisdiction at this point. Deal with sovereignty. Restoring that right there is what we got to focus on, because outside of that, nothing else is going to happen, man. Of course. In fact, Hilary Beckles said that Barbados was the first genocide island. In fact, he said he got those records when he got access to the records in England. Sir Charles, I don't normally use that term, but Sir Charles is what you call it. No, sorry. They said King Charles. I didn't even know. King Charles. Listen, man. Listen, man. Listen, man. Mr. Charles. By virtue of the fact that Mr. Beckles clearly stated that Barbados was the first genocide island. If Britain has a hand in that, which I suspect heavily that it does, I mean, you ain't got to worry about Vibes Cartel and who paying for the trial. Because although the government have to pay for the trial and all the other paperwork and whatnot, the people, taxpayers' money is who they going to use to do that, though. Listen, you got bigger fish to fry, Charles, because if this is the case, Barbados is the first genocide island, well, you owe more than just the few fragments, the fragmented statements you made on the night of the ceremony when they gave you the keys to the city. You owe a bit more than that, though. You owe a bit more than that, man. They stole more than 86 million from the taxpayers, UDC and Violet Beckles. Serious. Yo, family. What I gonna do? This one, by deed alone, Alex, is what date? I'm looking at the date. I want to see the date on it. Because the sister said this is back to 2004. Okay, I'm gonna put it up. I got one more for you, family. God love the inbox crew. Alex Mitchell, you ain't easy. You ain't easy at all, man. I gonna put it up, man. Look, I'm putting it up. I got one more, family. One more. Let me get this one more roll out, man. Unbelievable. You cannot make this stuff up, man. You cannot make this stuff up. All right. So me have it now. Me have it, Alex. Me have it. You got it right there. All right. Family, this is the last one I'm gonna put up for the night. And I want y'all to pay attention. Serious. Because let me zoom in on this one. Let me zoom in on this. Hang on a second. Let me switch sides. So this is the Saturday, Sunday Sun in Barbados. You know, the nation news. Let me just get a little closer. No, we're not dealing with haunted by a wicked in-law. We're going by deed alone. Court moving against land fraud. I mean, it sounds legitimate, right? And it says here, dishonest people will not be allowed to steal land by using the court anymore. By using the court anymore. They will not be allowed to steal the land by using the court anymore. I like it. I like it. Maybe I should post this on Politically Incorrect page as well. There's evidence going back to 2000 and when is this? October the 2nd, 2004. There's enough evidence going back, family, that this issue of land being stolen in Barbados has been an issue. And no minister is addressing it at the root. Not even, you know what? I'm not even going to call his name. Yeah, in fact, I call his name already. Not even Mr. Thorne. Because we're hearing, you know, the whole new setup now for the Senate. Well, not Senate, the whole committee review. The funny thing is this, though. I mean, it's like the LP doing tick for tack. They do something, he do something back. They do something, he do something back. Meanwhile, the people that's watching it from a distance telling themselves, like, this is coming like a real soap opera now, though. It's like the days and the lives of the people. The LP. Something got to give, man. But on another note, Alex, I think at this point, it's important to start to look at case. Literally, I know you might have current documents in the court. I'm not sure your legal status in terms of that. But you might got to take this to another level, man. Literally to another level. Having exhausted all your resources, then you might got to do what you got to do, bro. Because it's that kind of time. So what I will say is this. If we don't realize that we're the true owners of the land, if we don't recognize that, if we don't recognize how they kick him out, like back in the key to the city. I mean, Charles, man, they never kicked him out. If we don't realize that we're the owners of the land and it belongs to us, and all this talk of reparation and, you know, we from Africa, well, part of reparation is your family died for this land, bled for this land. It just go without saying. That part of this property, part of the plantation belonged to the people of Barbados, period. Because at this point, you know, it is just obvious that wrongs were done. So you got to address them at the root. So that's what we're going to start doing, address these things at the root. Having said that, family, we're going to roll up out of here. What time is it? Hour and a half, we up out of here. The question I was going to bring earlier, remember I said that every man should have 2 wives. The land is one, and well, 2 women. The land is one, and then a wife is the other. So Wednesday, we're going to get into the other part, because the whole idea is restoring the family. We're dealing with family. So as a man, as men, if we don't have land, we're going to have problems, because land is essential to family and building family, restoring family. We can't be renting from people, and I mean, they own everything, all of a sudden we just renting. So like post-emancipation. well, forced slavery, which was emancipation, which was really more like slavery, but prior to that, we were enslaved. So we were enslaved first, we were prisoners who were enslaved, and then emancipation came and we became slaves because folks right now don't have a clue where they're going and coming, and taxes everywhere. Nobody got no housing, cost of living is up, it's madness. They keep telling you, hold on, man, the price is going down, it just ain't get to you yet. Well, I would like to think that the people who feel it the most should be the first to receive the ease. I mean, if you wearing shoes all that burning your toes, shoes all that got your toes scorching, supporting your whole body, head to toe, you looking all pretty with your head dressed and everything, and you finally get home and you get that chance to get an ease, you would think logic would dictate that the first thing you do is kick off these shoes because your feet had it the hardest for the day. You don't go and take off your hat, start take out your pins, put off the wig, take off the eyelashes, wipe off the makeup, peel off the lips, take off the bra, even if it was padded, take off the hips, even if it was cushioned. You know what I'm saying? You kick off this, you get ease to who need the ease first. So if the ease of the cost of living, Miss Motley, hasn't reached the people yet, according to you, well, that means you ease the rich first because it is opposite ends of the spectrum. Your own words, Miss Motley, is what I'm just saying. You only asking questions. I'm just saying, man. Shout out to the family in Atlanta. And by the way, like I said, shout out to Noel in Massachusetts, for sure. Massachusetts, I think as you call it. Something like that. I'm done with it. They do that to keep the people quiet. They said that October 2004, David Simmons put that there to fool the people that some things were being done. Well, of course, but he was also acknowledging that there's crimes being committed. So he did both and want the double speak. So although he was saying one thing, he was also currently saying another. He was letting you know that we acknowledge that there are crimes being committed, man. Everything being set up on a swamp of lies. Sorry, a swamp of lies, straight talk, for sure. Has Mr. Thorne handed back his KC yet? Well, no, he can't really give it back because he would never given it in the first place. Unless that was a private ceremony, in which case he is not working for the people. So he is in a conundrum, Mr. Thorne. I don't care if you like me or don't like me, if you watch or don't watch the program. In the interest of your political career, if you have a career that you're really trying to promote yourself as having, that King's Council. Remember, I tell you this, Mr. Thorne. Sad KC, you get there and laugh at the Rastaman, right? I guarantee you that will be your Achilles heel. Mark my word. Mark my word. Because if you got it in private, anyhow, family, I can't even keep it with the comments, man. I here trying to scroll through as best I can. KC got to go? No, Jane. I ain't gonna lie. Because even if the poisonous snake decide to paint itself a different color, it is still a poisonous snake. Now, had he done that from the inception, I could say maybe. But the best way to control the outcome is to control the input. I can just leave that one right there. Leave that one right there, man. Mia call you a rat today on stage. Man, they're barely making fun of the people. Both of them. I telling you straight, both of them really making fun of the people. Because anybody that currently promoting Ralph Thorne, regardless of what Ralph Thorne is doing, because every successful government comes into power advocating that they're here for the people until they get there, and it's a different story. So what I'm saying is, if Mr. Thorne is genuine and sincere, there's some things he should be doing or should have been doing, because how much he get in Parliament and speak, talk political laundry, and insinuate that he's forming his special commission with his sidekicks left for thing one and thing two. I call it thing one. In fact, the cat in the hat, that's what came to mind. When I was watching it, I thought of the cat in the hat. I thought of the cat in the hat. I thought about thing one and thing two. When I saw the press conference on one of them social media sites, yeah, throwing shade. Everybody throwing shade in front of the sun. That's funny. Anyhow, in front of the sun. Thing one and thing two. Yeah, he said it. Looking like thing one and thing two. Man, we look, Dr. Seuss. Listen, Barbados is not a real place, family. Remember I told you all that. This is a game. For sure it's a game. No, not following. All who got KC behind their name got to go. Listen, not only they got to go, they got to stay gone. They don't want them nowhere around the people. In fact, if I was in charge of a political party and anybody in that party had that fraudulent title, you got to go in the back of the class. Put them in the back of the class, man. Y'all can't be up front. Send them to the same place Ronald Jones went to get exorcism, or wherever he went to get prayer for, or wherever it was. I don't know. I wasn't there. I may spreading the rumors because I wasn't there. I don't know where he went. But I remember seeing the paper. He was with like 4 different priests, had their hand on him. I ain't never seen that, except one time when they thought that young lady was possessed. Yeah. So I know. So in my mind, I thought the same thing because that's the only recollection I have. My daughter's encouraged me to come and cook in the kitchen. She too like my food. I ain't gonna front. Got school tomorrow. I can go and cook something, but I ain't gonna tell her. Just gonna surprise her in the morning. Yeah. Oh man. Anyhow, family, I gotta go and take care of some family business here. So I out. So KC is a tattoo that cannot be removed. Once it is there, nothing changing. That's a fact. Look, family, I give thanks for the energy, synergy, the togetherness. Like I said, we got to really start focusing on, like I said, restoring family. So we got to deal with the other part. So the question I was going to ask you all earlier that I'm going to answer you all now, that's probably going to cause some controversy, and I have to do this. Wednesday program, I'm asking this question because we're going somewhere with it. Because as a man, we need land. We also need our women by our side. Need the wife. We need the wife, but the wife, yes, I said the wife by yourself. In some cultures, it might be wives. But who am I to judge? The point I want to make is that the question is, and this question goes out to women, the sisters, and I know there's going to be a part 2 to this, a part 3 to it as well. What do women have to offer men in 2024? Because if we look through the quarters of time, we see how the role of the woman and the status of the woman and the integrity of the woman and the respect of the woman is being shifted or has been shifted. So the question is, what does a woman in 2024 have to offer a man? And the reason I'm going down this road is because we need to have this uncomfortable conversation. I answered that question the other day, man, and almost caused a riot where I was at. I mean, oh, man. In fact, if you're married right now, if you're watching this and you're married, you have a significant other, your king man, or even a boyfriend, ask him that question. What does a woman have to offer a man in 2024? Now, if he's honest, he might tell you directly. If he's not, well, I don't know. Watch on Wednesday, we're going to discuss it, because here's the question. The reason why they're doing all these things to us as a people is because we don't have a family structure. We don't have a family structure. We don't have the village/community structure. We don't have that, because if we had that in place, they couldn't do the things they're doing to us. We would have our land, we have our families, we have the numbers, we have our strength, and we ain't got to worry about whatever they do. Because the minute they say they go, listen, do you see the Islamic community out there protesting, marching, and keeping noise about cybercrime bills? They ain't saying a word because they know that they got a different deal. That don't apply to them. They know that. That don't apply to them. You see the Chinese worried about it? That don't apply to them. They know that don't apply to them. They're not even thinking about it. The Syrians that are here, even the Palestinians that are here, you don't even see, yeah, the Palestinian, I keep, that has bugged me, man. Like, wow. Living good. Not bothered, man. They are unbothered by what is going on. Why is that? Because they all negotiated a different deal. That deal, yeah, that applied to who want it applied to them. Because I tell you all already, that don't apply to me. Period. Full stop. Full stop. Isis, I like the comment. I like the comment. And it's a whole huge one. I'm encouraging you all, man, to go and check the comments. There's a lot of information being disseminated. The designation for senior attorneys in Barbados admitted to the linear bar can no longer use the King's Council designation. Under new orders published today, September the 1st, in the official Gazettes of Parliament. Really? We need a receipt, man. Get the official Gazette copy. Send me the copy. The senior attorneys are now required to use the designation Senior Counsel SC. Senior attorney in Barbados had been referred to as Queen's Counsel. Listen, I see it get cut off, ISIS, but that's all right. The rest of it. But here we're going on, family. Send us the copy of the official Gazette on the day, ISIS. I know the inbox crew will have it in my inbox by sunrise. I kid you not. I ain't even worried. Yes, Jane, they're still using it. Which mean they're practicing a fraud, man. Anyhow, family, it's been a while. It's been a long, long while, man. It's been a while. Let me stop sharing and go to the one. Let me just get a little song here. Let me go, family, on a good meditation. Or closing hymn for this evening. Listen, family, you cannot make this stuff up, man. These people, I mean, they not playing, family. You see me crack a smile, right? They not playing, family. They ain't playing. So we need to get serious about this on a whole different level, man. A different level. Start digging, do some research, discussing this thing, study this law, or understand what's going on. By the way, shout out to the sister that came on. It was, Friday night and broke it down for us. So we know how to go at these lawyers that be out here committing fraud, stealing land. If you have a land issue, the number's on the screen. Give us a call. Let's look into it. Let's have a collective, collaborative effort pushing forward as one energy. One energy. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. So I go into my I go into one of the official songs and one of the official anthems for this platform. Yes, I'm going to the official anthem for this platform. Those who know. Those who know. In fact, let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can read. Let me see if I find one. Let me see if I find one, man. They said that I don't get paid enough. Sure. I can leave it at that. Can anyone tell me? Greetings, Noel. I see you, family. Massachusetts. Yes, that's right. Yeah, these spies for the crown, Alex. We know they're spies, man. Spies, King's Council and all. Yeah, we know they are, man. We know they are. But we out of here, family, tonight. Give thanks to those tuning in. Like I said, the information is here. Tune in Wednesday. We answer the question, what do women have to offer a man in 24? Because family, we got to restore the family. And we need our sisters by our side, just like they need us by our side. So let me start having conversations on how we could build. We could discuss politics going and coming. A lot of folks discussing politics, but we also got to include family, because family, how do we restore the family? Because the reason why they're doing these things to us is because the family structure is missing. The homes are manless and the men are homeless. And that is what it is, family. So we got to fix this, man. We got to fix this. We got to fix this. Up for grabs, family, is a fresh off the press, politically incorrect Army Green tee. Everybody keep asking me these shirts for sale. Yes. Yeah, that was the initial intention. But I've been pretty much giving them away since then. Although I owe one to Andrea. I got to keep one for Andrea because she was the first person that actually paid for a shirt before I even had the shirts. But yeah, we thought about selling the shirts. So if you're interested in getting the shirt, again, the number's on the screen. Just WhatsApp, and just put it up. You want the official merch, the merchandise. But the tune I'm gonna play tonight is one of the official anthems. If you ain't know this tune, you haven't been tuned in long enough. If you don't know this tune, you have not been tuned in long enough. So, the first person can tell me what tune I'm gonna drop gets the Army Green politically incorrect merchandise. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. And man, don't make me do it, man. Don't make me do it, man. It's an official anthem. Anybody can tell me which tune we gonna play tonight gets the official. Before we used to have pins before. Remember ISIS, the badges? We used to have the politically incorrect badge. I think I still have one here. Yeah. But we're gonna be graduating now to the shirts. They put the Army Green politically incorrect shirts, man. Yes. If you can tell me what tune we gonna play next, one of the official anthems for the political incorrect platform. It's yours. It's yours. Cheese on door. We've been down ISIS, Gesso. ISIS. Gesso, ISIS. You didn't even get anybody else a chance, ISIS. Oh man. Jane said the food song. Yeah, that's official. That's an official anthem too, but that's not one of the original anthems. That's a new anthem. Shout out to, I'm gonna let her tell it in a minute. Shout out to Indra though, for sure, for doing the works and putting the works. Give me a free. He said, "Give me give me a free shirt for becoming a new joining up to your program." In fact, Noel is my newest member. Noel messaged me today and said, "Listen, I just became aware of the program. Keep up the good works." And he said he went back and watched all the programs I had done before. I don't know if he managed to get through all because there's been a lot. There's someone actually, Noel. There's some on YouTube, but I started this originally on my own personal Facebook page before I started the politically incorrect page, and then the YouTube channel. So there's a long road. In fact, I came across one. In fact, I'm gonna do this real quick, only because Noel brought this to. Yes, ISIS, by the way, you are absolutely correct. Do y'all remember this particular one? For those who were here from day one. Y'all remember this? Anybody can remember this in the beginning? Wait, I'm wearing the same hat. Yo, look at that. I didn't even thought of that. That's crazy. That is crazy. You might got a regular flu for all we know. We don't even know. But a lot of people might tell the service, see me, I ain't getting nowhere, boy. Then people want somebody to sit Lucy and quarantine me and they come my house and grab my family. Other people have reservations, man. So promote healthier living, promote healthier choices. So a lot of meat and stuff, we got to put that on pause for now and build your system, build your temple, take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Certain foods like the Trojan, like even in school. And in a way, I'm still kind of glad because outside of these schools, you found these little snacks. And look, the government's so interested in keeping us safe that they tell us about lockdown and quarantine. But yet, you go outside these schools, almost all the public schools in Barbados or government schools, what they call it, got these snacks outside selling. And all them snacks, whether it's corn kernels, little stringy beans or whatever, jelly, whatever, all them foods is poisons though. Cheese on bread, politically incorrect. Oh man. Almost, but you know what? We're gonna have to figure out a way to get a shirt to you all the way where you at. So we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure out something, bro. We're gonna definitely figure out something. But ISIS, without apology, without question, man, ISIS hit the nail on the head. Yes, yes, yes. And ISIS, I'm gonna say this to you though. I don't know how come you managed to pull that one out of a hat though, because I mean, you said it, but nobody else enforced that. We've been down. The food song was Jane. Isis says she still have her badge. Well, you know what, Isis? You deserve this tonight. For sure. Like Isis been there from beginning, man, and been through it with us, ups and downs. Just for you, Isis. Point in time, I'm politically incorrect. You thought ISIS was my wife, yeah. You thought ISIS was my wife, yeah. The funny thing is, though, a long time ago, not in Egypt, but in Yemen, I can recall, she was.
We've been down in the valley much too long.
Much too long, man.
We've been down in a poverty oh so long, yeah. We've been down in captivity much too long. We've been down
Too long, family.
and oh so long.
Too long, family.
So rise and shine.
Rise and shine, family.
And win your liberation.
Win your liberation.
Oh, now's the time when all nations must be free.
All nations must be free. I gotta pull out from the beginning, man. We want liberation. We ain't dealing with no inclusion. The illusion. We want accountability on the plantation. We want the rules to be restored the way they were before. We want to govern ourselves by ourselves, for ourselves. For the sake of the children and the future generations. You don't want your colonial rule of law. You want the law of liberty. Divine law. Divine law and order. Shout out to the Anunnaki, man. Shout out to the gods, man.
We've been down in the valley much too long. We've been down in a poverty oh so long, yeah. We've been down in captivity much too long. We've been down in humility and oh so long.
So rise and shine.
And win your liberation.
Rise and shine, family.
For now's the time when all nations must be.
All nations must be free, man.
Rise and shine.
Across the world, man.
Restore your strength and power.
Right here in the region.
Waste no more.
Right here in the Antilles.
Remember your history.
Right here in Barbados, man. Home of the bearded ones. Home of the bearded ones, man. I ain't never see an ARAWAK with a beard yet. Never ARAWAK with a beard.
We've been Sufferation.
Woo!
Much too long. We've been down in humiliation. Oh, so long. Yeah. We've been down in a condemnation. Much too long. We've been down in a segregation. Oh, so long. So rise and shine as the morning sun that surrounds you. It's International Morality Time, where mankind must be born anew. So rise and shine for the sake of the younger.
For the sake of the younger generation.
Putting hearts and minds to brotherhood and unity.
To brotherhood and unity, family.
We've been down.
Brotherhood and unity, family.
Much too long. We've been down in a poverty. Oh, so long, yeah. We've been down in captivity. Much too long. We've been down in humility. And oh, so long.
That's right, family.
We've been down, in a separation.
We've been down.
Much too long.
We've been down, family. Oh, so long. Been too long, family, man. It's been too long. Been too long, man. It's been too long. Every school should be selling coconut water, man. I know a lot of schools selling. In fact, let me speak on it real quick. Since I played the other clip of Politically Incorrect back in the day, dealing with health and dealing with schools, Spirit No Whisper and tell me, listen, make sure you tell the people, try to send your child to school with water. No, I ain't promoting any particular brand. I know his sister named Kimberly. She got water to sell too. I don't have a bottle of her brand, but we need to get a couple so we can promote it on the program. But you see that Dasani water that they sell at the schools now? Almost every school got this water. Every corner shop got this water. Everywhere you go, you see in this Dasani water and these flimsy plastic bottles. Let me tell you all something, right? Do not, I mean, yes, we know that, it has its own challenge with water in the plastic bottle. We know this, but you see that one, Dasani? You see that one, Dasani? Man, go do the research on that. That's all they're going to tell you. Do not, look, man, do whatever y'all got to do. Catch rainwater, boil it, pour it back into a canister. We used to carry school flasks back in the days. Let everyone carry school of flasks. Get a copper canister or something and do what you got to do, family. But do not let your children drink that Dasani water here. I'm telling y'all, man, avoid that like the plague. Like the plague. Avoid that, man. Yes, that's right. Boycott the swarm and rise to who you be. I give thanks, family. For sure. Love it. Isis, I give thanks for you too, family. You got to plug you in. Definitely, you got it. And pure, poor life. Serious, family. Noah said he coming to BIM in 2 weeks, man. We're going to see what happening, bro. We're going to take care as a new subscriber. Why not? Make a special amendment. More like dirt, Sani. Man. Man. I look, y'all ain't easy. Anyhow, family, here we're going on. We up out of here. It's almost 2 hours. That was not the plan. Y'all be good. Stay committed to doing better with your life. Like I said earlier, Politically Incorrect. I can put that link up, man. That was during the COVID times. I ain't even remember that. I really came across that the other day and thought about it. It was like, yo. Anyhow, family, y'all be good. Y'all be great. Do some introspection and pay attention, family. Time's changing and changing fast. Focus on renewing the mind, thinking more consciously about the things we do to bring about the change that we're looking for. Not just because we're physically doing it, but we're manifesting it on our thought, word, and our deeds. Marching is the last thing. Remember the Jericho wall, right? Meditation. You got to make a certain sound. And the frequency is the frequency. Everything works collectively. mind, body, and soul. So that's what's up, family. All right, we're gonna be good. Y'all have a wonderful night. Get your rest. We're gonna see you all on Wednesday. Where the question is, what do women have to offer men in 2024? How do we restore the family? That's the conversation we're having. Because we ain't got no land, no wonder we ain't got no families. So the way you divide the whole thing is keep the people without the land. They ain't gonna have no family. Because land, to have land means you building a nation, you building a family, you building a nation, man. We need the land. One way or the other.
In a condemnation much too long, and we've been down in a segregation for so long.
Too long, man. Too long, too long, man. Too long, family. That's what's up. On that note, family, we out. We'll connect with you all on Wednesday. Tell a friend and tell a friend. In the meantime,
Greetings, family. This is Indra, and you are watching Politically Incorrect. Politically Incorrect. Yeah. Politically Incorrect. Real news for the people in real time. Politically incorrect. Reality from him and royal elected, time to get in place for real news for the people in real time.